Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman. Welcome back to the channel guys, I hope that all of you are doing well. It's time for your daily dose of some fragrance content, and for today I have yet another first impressions video. And today I'm going to unpack and try for the first time two hyped up beasts from the Brun French Avenue and Fragrance World. And they're called Azzure Aoud or Azzure Aoud, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce the name of this one. And the other one is the one called Liquid Brun. So let's unpack them and let's try them. Now, just before I unpack and try both of them, a little bit of a backstory into both fragrances. Now, I've had my eyes on both of them for quite a long time, a few months at this point, and I was seeing more and more positive reviews about both of them, and I really wanted to try them, but I just couldn't find a seller who actually has them in stock and delivers to my country. But finally, last week, I was finally able to get them both and to get delivered them to my door a few days ago. So today I'm going to try them, but to be honest, I'm a little bit hesitant to actually unpack them and try them for the first time because both of them have been so hyped up that I really have very high expectations about both of them, and I'm afraid that I'm going to end up being a little bit disappointed by them. But again, I'm here to actually test them, so let's try them. And the first one that I'm going to try out in today's video will be Azzure Aoud or Azzure Aoud from French Avenue. The box actually looks quite nice, comes in this blue color with silver accents. You open up this part like a door, and then this is the bottle sitting inside. And the bottle has quite an interesting design. The cap is plastic, but it feels like it's a snug fit. It has nice heft, feels a bit plasticky, but actually, feels quite nice in hand. You have this crystal thing in here that's also on the front of the box itself. Let's try out this one first. I'm going to go directly for skin. Let's check out the sprayer. Sprayer is nice. Okay, can already smell it in the air and it's quite strong. Definitely there's an Agar Oud note in here that I can immediately pick up and recognize. Also, there's some fruits. There's a saffron note for sure. There's some rose. It feels a little bit leathery as well. Quite an interesting scent. I also pick up some vanilla. It's quite woody, but the agar oud note is here. Feels just a little bit animalic. And in the air, it actually feels like a sweeter, fruitier version of Louis Vuitton's Ombre Nomade. Now, supposedly, Azzure Aoud is heavily inspired by Oud Maracuja from Maison Crivelli. I've tried the original fragrance, and this is definitely smells quite similar to the original one. Maybe this feels a little bit less strong. In fact, not maybe, but for sure, this feels less strong compared to the original fragrance. The agar oud note in here feels less strong compared to the original. Maybe this has a slightly stronger sort of a rosy note, feels a little bit more floral. But the more time passes, actually, this becomes more leathery as well. Quite sweet. Definitely, those fruity notes are in here that give some sweetness and just cover up the skankiness of the agar oud note. But it smells quite nice actually. In the air smells quite strong, although again definitely not as strong as the original fragrance that this has been inspired by. But the quality is good for sure because there's no harshness, there's no alcohol blast or anything in the opening of this fragrance, and definitely smells quite interesting. But also I can definitely say that this will be challenging for some people out there because I know that the original Oud Maracuja and also Ombre Nomad, that this is quite similar to as well, definitely are not safe for blind buying. They're a bit of a challenging sense, and this one also, although feels like a softer version, still feels a bit challenging because of the strong oud note and because of the strong leather as well. But again, smells quite nice actually. Up close, the leather note is actually quite strong the more time passes. And before I move on to Liquid Brun, just wanted to add something else. I pick up a sort of a hint of like a tobacco note out of Azzure Aoud, which is not listed anywhere. I've not seen anybody else mentioning this, but I definitely pick up something like a tobacco note from Azzure Aoud. But okay, that's enough for this one. Let's move on to the other one, the one that's really been hyped up lately, and that's Liquid Brun. And let's unpack this one and let's see if the hype is real. The packaging of Liquid Brun is very similar to Azzure Aoud, pretty much the same box and bottle design, but in here you have a brown colored box with the golden accents instead of that blue one with silver accents. Again, you open up the box in the same way. Again, you have this crystal up front on the box and then on the bottle itself. One thing I forgot to mention is the production date on both bottles that I'm opening up today is August of 2024. So basically they're very recent bottles, just a month old. Now, Liquid Brun is supposedly very heavily inspired by Parfum de Marly's Altair. Now, the original fragrance, many people actually argue that doesn't smell very niche, and I can understand why a lot of people are saying that in my mind, in my opinion, also Altair smells more like a designer scent rather than something that is coming up from a niche house. But I cannot deny the fact that it smells really nice, and it's quite a crowd pleaser. So let's see the sprayer on Liquid Brun. This has wider distribution compared to the first one. Okay, yes. Okay, so it's a sweet fragrance that has quite a bit of vanillic sweetness. There's definitely some cinnamon, quite a strong cinnamon note in here. And a lot of people actually compare, the original Altair with Mercedes-Benz Club Black, which is a great vanilla-based fragrance, one of my most favorite vanilla-based fragrances. And to be honest, Liquid Brun actually doesn't smell very similar to Mercedes-Benz Club Black. It smells similar to Altair, but it also, in a way, in the opening, it actually kind of reminds me of a Spice Bomb Extreme, to be honest, because of the cinnamon note, probably. This feels sweet, quite a vanillic scent with a strong cinnamon note. There's the orange blossom that adds a bit of a sort of a floral freshness. There's the cardamom note in here that adds some spiciness. Feels a bit woody somewhere in the background, a bit musky as well, but definitely smells quite nice and quite sweet. Maybe feels a little bit more spicy compared to what the original fragrance smells. It's nice, maybe even smells a hint soapy, at least to my nose. It's definitely an interesting scent. Now, as I said, I was a little bit afraid that I may end up being a bit disappointed by Liquid Brun or Azzure Aoud. And to be honest, actually, Liquid Brun feels a little bit underwhelming. It smells similar to Altair, but not as close as I was actually expecting it to smell. Maybe lacks a bit of the sweetness, a bit of the punch of the original fragrance. I don't know, maybe it's down to the fact that it's a very recent bottle, but also, at least so far in the air and up close, doesn't smell very strong. I'll check out the performance from these initial wearings, but it's a good fragrance, don't get me wrong, but I kind of feel a little bit disappointed by it, to be perfectly honest. So guys, at the end, a few final words about Liquid Brun and Azzure Aoud. To be honest, Azzure Aoud, actually, I'm quite impressed by Azzure Aoud. It smells very nice, sort of quite a challenging scent, but at the same time quite a nice scent that's pretty reminiscent of Oud Maracuja from Mason Crivelli. And I actually quite like this one. It feels quite strong and an interesting scent. Again, not safe for blind buying, definitely. Try to sample this one first. When it comes to Liquid Brun, this is quite similar to Altair, but at the same time, doesn't feel as close as I was actually expecting it to feel. And I am a little bit disappointed. I know that I'm probably going to get quite a bit of hate about this one. Also, keep in mind, these are just initial impressions, but actually, to be honest, I was expecting Liquid Brun to be the star of the show in today's video. But at the end of the day, actually, the star of this video will be Azzure Aoud. Definitely this one feels stronger, smells more interesting. And so guys, in today's video I unpacked and tried for the first time two hyped up beasts from French Avenue and Fragrance World, Liquid Brun and Azzure Aoud. And to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed at the moment from my initial impressions by Liquid Brun. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like. And I also hope that you're going to join me tomorrow for your daily dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.